Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I'm going to upload income tax part 2. So this syllabus is your BCom 6th semester syllabus 2023 at present syllabus it is. So the first unit heading income from capital gain and income from other sources. We know that under income tax whole syllabus or heads of income or there are five heads of income. The first one is the income from salary. Second one is the income from house property. Third head is the income from business or profession. These three heads of income we already covered in our fifth semester. Remains two like income from capital gain and income from other sources. Here I am going to cover it. Unit 2 setup and carry forward of losses. Unit 3 deductions from gross total income. Unit 4 assessment of individual. And Unit 5 assessment of partnership form. So the first unit, it's a combination of two heads of income. Income from capital gain and income from other sources. First of all, I would like to cover income from capital gain. The contents like meaning of capital asset, types of capital asset, transfer, cost of acquisition, cost of improvement, selling expenses, treatment of advance money received, exemptions, the finally computation of capital gain. So this is all about your income from capital gain syllabus. For your 2 marks purpose, this meaning of capital gain is very important one. Capital gain means a property or a profit or gain arising from the transfer of a capital asset. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟಿಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So capital gain arises if the following conditions are fulfilled. Under the Income Tax Act, capital gain arises if the following conditions are fulfilled. The first condition, assessee should be the owner of the capital asset. Second condition, transfer of the capital asset during the previous year. That asset should be transferred previous year only. The profit or gain should result from such transfer. Such profit may be adjusted against exemptions if any claimed in section 54. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಕಮಿಗೂ ಎಕ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ 54. After adjusting the exemption under section 54, if it is balance is positive, then that positive balance is called as a capital gain. That one is a taxable one. If it is balance or result is negative, then it is treated as a capital loss. We know that income tax under, if it is positive result, then only it is taxable, not in negative figure. Then meaning of capital asset. Asset means it is nothing but property. So here meaning is capital asset means property of any kind held by an assessee, whether or not connected with his business and profession. So capital asset meaning it is. So example, plant, land, building, machinery, financial assets like share, debenture, these all are a property. Exemptions, the following are not a capital assets. Under the Income Tax Act, some assets are not treated like a capital asset, like stock in trade, cash and bank balance, personal usage of assets like jewelry, drawing, patents, any artwork. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಅಸೆಟ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅಂತದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Agriculture land in India which is not situated in particular area. Gold deposit bond 2000 issued under gold deposit scheme 2000, 1999. So these all are capital assets are not treated like a, sorry, these all are properties are not treated as a capital asset. After the meaning of capital asset, under this head, capital assets are classified into mainly two types on the basis of nature and on the basis of the term. First one on the basis of nature. On the basis of nature, capital assets again they are classified into two types: financial capital asset and non-financial capital assets. Example here it is example of financial capital assets and non-financial capital assets. Financial capital assets example share, it may be listed or unlisted, bond, government securities, debentures, units of mutual funds. Example of non-financial capital assets: building, house property, land, plant and machinery, furniture. Then on the basis of term, capital assets again they are classified into two types: short-term capital asset and long-term capital asset. Short-term capital asset here capital asset is whether that short-term or long-term identification is very important one on the basis of the month usage. So here, in case of financial assets, listed shares and debenture. So shares and debenture under some shares and debentures are listed, some shares and debentures are unlisted. Suppose question ಅಲ್ಲಿ listed shares and debenture ಇದ್ರೆ, then 12-month rule is applicable. They will be treated as a short-term capital assets if these assets are held for not more than 12 months before the transfer of the assets. Then that kind of listed shares and debenture is treated like a short-term capital assets. Otherwise, it is treated like a long-term capital assets. 12 month ಗಿಂತ less ಇದ್ರೆ short-term capital asset. 12 month ಗಿಂತ more ಇದ್ರೆ then that listed shares and debenture is treated like a long-term capital asset. The second rule, if shares and debentures are unlisted, then these shares are short-term capital asset if these assets are held for not more than 24 months. So unlisted shares and debenture idre 24-month rule is applicable. Suppose 24 month ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಹ unlisted share short term capital asset ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 24 month ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಹ asset long term capital asset ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Got it? Then in case of non financial asset, so ಹೇಗೆ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅನ್ಲಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಹಾಗೆ ನಾನ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಮೂವೇಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್, ನಾನ್ ಮೂವೇಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಮ್ಮೂವೇಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೂವೇಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್, ದೀಸ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ರೂಲ್ ಏನ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ this 36-month rule is applicable. These assets are held by assessee for not more than 36 months before the date of its transfer. Then that kind of movable asset is treated like a short-term capital asset. Otherwise, it is treated like a long-term capital asset. In case of non-movable assets like land and building, house property, then 36-month rule is not applicable. 24-month rule is applicable. In case of non-movable assets like land and building, house, etc., then 24-month rule is applicable. So non-movable assets 24 month ಗಿಂತ less ಇದ್ರೆ that asset is a short term. Suppose non-movable assets 24 month ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ that asset is a long term one. So less ಇದ್ರೆ short term, more than 24-month rule ಇದ್ರೆ long term capital gain. So practical problem ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ capital asset identification is very important one. Otherwise it is very difficult to deal with taxable. Especially 15 marks question deal ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಎನಫ್. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಎನಫ್. ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನ್, ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್, classification of capital assets on the basis of nature, on the basis of term. ಸೊ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್.